Good morning, Dave Kenworthy here again. It's the 21st of the 11th, 2021, and we're not talking about numbers today. We're just talking about the Eclipse line, and I've set a project up on Google Earth so we can actually get a flavour of this line and all the megalithic sites that it goes through. And our archaeologists have got no explanation for this line. It just does not fit in with their expectations of the capabilities of the Neolithic. And what I'm saying is they've got it completely wrong, and Tom got it right. So let's go on to the Eclipse line. It runs the full length of the UK. And there's some mathematics and geodetic aspects to this line that we won't go into today. And we can see all these points at the bottom here, and I've put Avebury Chapel just as a locator, but in fact the lines run to the west of Avebury Chapel. The line goes through the west of West Kennet, Long Barrow, goes through Casterley Camo, and that is supposedly an Iron Age hill fort, but it's in actual fact it's a Neolithic henge. We've got the Stonehenge Cursus, we've got Old Sarum, and we've got Hengistbury Head. And if I click on the Ring of Brodgar, it brings this up. But clicking this fly icon here will take us to the actual henge site. So there it is, and if I click that, it will be facing north. So let's have a look at these photographs. You can see what a fabulous megalithic design this is. And the idea that the people who laid this stone circle out didn't know what they were doing it's a ridiculous suggestion, to be quite honest. There's its aspect. Tom was telling us that they were following sunrises and sunsets through the notches in the distant hills, and we can see a notch here. So maybe there's a moonset or a sunset coming this way at a particular time of year. So you can see exactly what he was talking about. These photographs are really amazing. So we get the idea of the stones. That's the Neolithic and the stones. That's the idea that comes across from this. So we can move down to the next site on the list, and it's Avebury. And we know what we're going to find at Avebury. So we fly down to Avebury. And we can look at where it's situated on the landscape, and we can see that it's a huge henge site, and here are the stones. And if we go to the photographs, we know we're going to get the same as we got. Look at that stone, we're getting the same as we got up at Brodgar. Here are the stones, and there's the National Trust again taking care of the site. Taking care of all the sites around Avebury. And Tom has broken down the design of this site. There's no problems with his analysis. It's just a question of whether we've got the will to accept it and work on it, which is what I've tried to do. So let's go down to the next site. So we go back there, and it's West Kennet, Long Barrow, and we'll see the same thing again. You know, we can see the stone straight away. There it is, there's the line going right through the site. We click on there, and we'll see another fabulous site in these photographs. There are the stones, the Neolithic stones. And as we go through, there's all the important sites, including the Ridgeway. There's Avebury. This is an important pathway, the Ridgeway. It's the Avebury Cursus in my analysis. And as we continue to go through these photographs, we'll eventually come to Silbury Hill. What a beautiful photograph that is, a little sparrow there right on the top of the stone. And there's Silbury Hill. And I mean, there's no doubt that all these sites so far have been designed by the same people, the Neolithic, and they're all lining up exactly on Google Earth, and our archaeologists, I'm afraid, have got absolutely no explanation as to why this could be happening, and they've completely misjudged these people. And there's how it's perceived it would have been constructed. There it is now. And there's the modern day world reflected into container wagons. And there's something to remember our past heroes by. It's really a lovely set of photographs. We can move on to the next site now, Casterley Camp. So we can fly to it, and again this is a Neolithic henge site. If I stop that, we can look at Wiki on this, because I mean there are some great photographs, so I'll just show you them. There's a trig point, so it's very high up. It's perfect for an astronomical observatory, this site. And there's some bikers having fun. We can see the henge here. And that's it. We're finished with the photographs. So let's look at Wiki. They're saying that it's an Iron Age hill fort, but obviously it's on this line, and it's obviously a henge construction, so it may have been an Iron Age hill fort, but it most certainly was a henge, and it's most certainly a Neolithic construction. So we can delete that, and we can go to the next site on the line, and it's the Stonehenge Cursus, and we know what we're going to see when we get to Stonehenge. It's absolutely inevitable, isn't it? There's the Cursus on Google Earth, and again we're going to go into Wiki to look at the Cursus, but we can look at what we can see from the Cursus. And there's the most famous site in the world, possibly with the exception of the Giza Great Pyramid. Look at it, it's absolutely magnificent. And look how they put these little mortise and tenon joints on top of the stones. So they were obviously used to working with wood, and they've used the same principle with the stones. And it's a miracle they're still standing today. It's absolutely fabulous. We've got a few personal photographs here, I think. But there are the stones there by this camper van. You would want to go camping and look at that, wouldn't you? And another great photo, nice angle. And there we have it from the distance. I don't know if we're on the Cursus now. Oops, personal photographs. Sorry about that. I don't know why they're on this program. So let's go to Wiki. See what Wiki tells us. Stonehenge Cursus, known as the Greater Cursus, is a large Neolithic Cursus monument on Salisbury Plain. All the monuments that this eclipse line goes through, they're all connected, according to Thom, with predicting eclipses, and they're all connected with the Neolithic farmers. They've all been built by the Neolithic farmers. There are others that I haven't identified, but now let's go to the next one, and it's Old Sarum, which I believe is the capital of the Neolithic farmers' world in the UK. And this is just the most magnificent site, and if you've never been to it, I really urge you to go and visit it, because it's fantastic, and the eclipse line's going right through it. why is it going right through it? What did these people know that we don't know about them? There are ways that this can be done, but the actual fact that it's been done and needs to be explained is quite incredible. So we can look at the photographs, and that's William the Conqueror built a castle here. And we can see, just like all the other sites, the views to the distant horizons are absolutely amazing. Look at that, how the horizon's framed by the actual construction. Exactly as Thom tells us. And what else did Thom tell us? He told us that these people, these Neolithic farmers, could draw a line across the landscape over huge distances without taking account of the terrain and measure exactly point to point like modern surveyors can do. So how could they have done that? That's what the cathedral looked like, I think, the original one. And this is the remains of the castle. And there's a fabulous site, totally megalithic, this construction. And there's two ditches, one there and one here. And I believe that these are sighters for the rising and setting sun and moon, these lines. They're flat horizons. So we can go back to the final site, Hengistbury Head Beach, and we can fly down there. I mean, and this is another obvious henge site, just by name, Hengistbury Head. This is a well-known Neolithic site, and there's much that we can see here. This is where the Eclipse line finishes. Well, it finishes on one of those points. I'm not sure where the main one is that goes out to sea. Could be that one, but it looks to be a much bigger construction than that, to be quite honest. I've not visited it. So English, it's fabulous. Anyway, that's the Eclipse line, and from Brodgar Ring to Hengistbury Head, rendering our archaeologists speechless. And that's it for now. Thank you.